Y'all, I want to start this episode out by saying happy 3-year anniversary. I feel like I should buy you guys some roses or like a coffee or a tea or something just to celebrate this. Because 3 years ago, I launched this podcast because I knew I have lots of stories. I have lots of things to tell you guys, but I didn't know how big of an impact this podcast specifically, this audience specifically, you guys specifically, were going to have on my entire life. I say this all the time in my peer places or anytime I'm talking about my business. Like, if my podcast was the only thing I ever did for the rest of my life, I'd be so happy. This is my favorite place to show up every single month. And I'm just so excited because it's just, you guys are the best thing on the planet. And I'm just so in love with this community. I'm so in love with this movement. I'm so in love with all of it. And I could have never predicted me sharing my stories and literally going through the fucking ringer for you guys and telling you about it would turn into this whole global movement and this whole global brand that has attracted me to the most extraordinary humans on this planet, and that is you guys. So I just want to start out by saying thank you, thank you, thank you. I cannot believe 3 years, holy pickles. It's so long and so short. I remember the first episode. I remember the whole feeling in my body, and it's just crazy. It feels so like not that long ago, and yet my life is completely fucking different. And I want to share with you today the power of consistency, the power of momentum, and just really recapping this whole experience for you guys of my lessons over the last 3 years, breaking down what happened over the last 3 years, the difference in the years and how that was built off of each one. Because I know some of you, you're just starting out. Like, you're just starting soft savage era. You're just in the beginning stages of building something extraordinary and finding the love of your life and learning how to balance all of these things. But really, there is no balance in life and you don't understand. And there's people of you in the middle, and there's some of you that are in the same season I'm in. And I want to speak to all of that because something that has changed the trajectory of my life is not just studying people for where they are right now. I realized when I was studying them for where they are right now, I was further behind because I wasn't studying what actually got them to the milestones I wanted to be at. And so maybe you have a podcast, maybe you have a business, maybe you have a love life. Like, they're all going to be addressed inside of this podcast because that is what this podcast is all about. So maybe you're a newbie and you're like, thank you for the anniversary present, Laura, but like, I'm just meeting you for the first time. Just ask me on a date first. I'm so excited that you're here. Thank you for coming on our first date with me. Celebrating 3 years. It must be trippy. But this whole podcast has been you're about to get that whole tidbit, so I don't even need to give that introduction. But it's been my life force through this whole journey of stepping into womanhood and helping you guys figure out how to step into womanhood, build these businesses while also being a woman and building your life. And this whole journey of discovering how to be the soft savage and really dial it in and turn it up and lock the fuck in and just be extraordinary human beings that are multifaceted, multi-passionate, and not just have and achieve a lot, but be fulfilled in what you achieve. And so I'm so happy that you're here. If you haven't already, head over to Instagram. My Instagram is @ITS Laura Patricia Martin. Yes, I have to spell it out because people get confused by that. It's Laura Patricia Martin. And I love to hear from you guys. And actually, for the month of April, what we're going to be doing is a really fun giveaway just spoken about here. I'm not going to talk about it on my Instagram, but just on here, anyone that is listening to the podcast and writes a review and you tag me, like screenshot that you're listening to an episode and you tag me in the episodes, you can literally do this every single day this week, every single day this month, as many times as you enter, because I know you can only like write a review twice, right? On whatever platform. But if you want to enter a whole bunch of times, we're going to be doing a really dope giveaway come the end of the month. And so every time you reshare, our team is going to be taking notes of that, and then we'll reach out to you and you win a really gold prize. So we just want to thank you and celebrate you for this whole journey. And that's our way of doing it. And y'all, I'm getting a little distracted because my milk jugs, if you're watching the video on YouTube or Spotify, they're milk jugging. Pregnancy, this is a bonus. I'm very happy with this side of pregnancy. I'm just like looking at myself being like, whoa, this is great. Okay. Anyways, So, my loves, this episode is for you. If you are looking to build something that is absolutely extraordinary and you have the passion inside your heart, but like it just feels so long down the line of the goal, the outcome, and you're just out here and you don't know, but yet you're giving it your all. This is for someone that's in the middle of it where you're like, I feel like I've been trying so hard and I've been pumping out content consistently all the fucking time. Why hasn't this paid off yet? Or why hasn't it paid off in the way that I want it to pay off yet? Or you're at that stage where you're like, I've showed up consistently. I understand this long-term game and I want to go bigger. This episode covers all of that because that's what this podcast has been about. Year one was all around healing. Year one was all around building. Year one was all around finding my voice. And that's what I feel like year one is for people. It's usually a cadence, right? Like businesses start to take off around year 3, year 4, year 5. And so that's how it happened. Some people are the quick people. Some people, it does take more time. Statistically, it takes around 3 to 5 years. So in the first year, it is around finding your voice. It's around discovering who you are. It's around really healing, right? There's a part of you that you weren't your favorite version of yourself. So you started to invest, you started to listen to podcasts, you started to create something, and you probably started to share, or you started to date, or you started to try different things, or you tried different modalities of healing, and you just got into this world of building a new version of yourself and finding your voice in this new version of yourself. That is what year one for me was all about. I was going through a breakup. I was in this transition, moving back to America after being in Asia for so long. I met this man for a year. I felt really safe. And then this entire thing crumbled. I thought I would marry him, and that was the rest of my life. And I had no idea like who was going to save me now. It was just this whole thing. And I kept thinking, I want to start the podcast. I want to do something bigger. I have so many stories. I have so much knowledge. I have so much to share. I want to help more people. I want to, touch more lives. I want to do something bigger, but I was so scared. It's so funny thinking about it now because this just becomes second nature to me. But like, I was so scared of just like putting my voice out there and doing something big. And I remember that feeling of going through that breakup and being like, run it. And I just locked in, but not just locking in on pumping out content. I locked in on who I wanted to become because I realized in that breakup, I was not the woman I wanted to be. I was very afraid of losing the relationship. I was I was so hungry for love that I lost my hunger for life. I was so hungry for love that I really lost who I am, like a strong, savage, alpha, outspoken, very triggering, loud woman. And it's not that I wasn't fully that, but like my heart wasn't there, my femininity wasn't there. I had no idea how to be a wife. Like I'm still learning it. We're still learning, but like I just didn't get it. I just literally thought the world revolved around me and also so afraid of the world. It was this whole different thing. And so I said, run it. I'm all in. I'm all in on healing. I invested in so many different places. I started to build this thing. I was like, let's do 2 a week. Like I was so invested. I was so obsessed. To this day, I've never missed a Monday. Not once. Not through a breakup, not any of it. It kept me accountable. I got to share my lessons, and it really is this trial and error. So you're probably in that stage. If you ever started something, it's a lot of you are healing as you're also sharing. You are broadcasting, you're finding your voice in this new identity that you're in. And it's a lot of trial and error. And as you're going, it can feel like you're taking it personally, but it's like you start to look at people that are like further ahead than you and like have it figured out and like all the things. And you're like, why am I not there yet? I've been doing this for 5 fucking minutes. Like, why am I not there yet? And it's like, patience. You're in the season that you are going to remember forever. This is your foundation. You want to make sure it's solid because there's so many people that skip this stage, skip the trial and error, skip the thing, like do the done for you models, blah, 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 blah. Don't really have their piece of healing, have not done the identity work. It's all that kind of stuff. And they're just in it. and it crumbles because the foundation wasn't set. And so you're trialing and erring, but you're not failing. Like, this is the thing I wish I could tell my version of myself then is like, you're not failing. You're just trying. And as long as you do not stop, you cannot fail. No, whether it's in love and you're healing and you're trying to figure it out and like the relationship didn't work out because you said the wrong fucking thing or you did the wrong fucking thing and you freaked someone out, like, it's still not your fault. Like, I mean, it might have been a little bit because you're responsible for your entire life, but you're learning and you're not meant to be perfect. And it's the same thing in business. Like, you're putting yourself out there, you're doing these types of things. You're gonna fail a lot. The people that are the most successful at this whole thing is they have stacks of failures against the people that don't. That's it. I've invested hundreds of thousands of dollars and quote unquote didn't get my return on investment, but it's paid off in my lifetime. It's helped me become who I am. And so that whole year was all around healing, building, and finding my voice. And the same thing is for you. And then I got into year 2. And I was like, okay, I'm getting it a little bit. I feel a little bit more confident. I've now built a stackable proof that I am who I say I am because I've showed up consistently, even when it was hard, even through the breakup, even through the horrible things, even through the most traumatic experiences like ever, and a lot of stuff just going on. And I started in year 2. It was like, okay, momentum. The feeling was momentum. I started to see traction. Because the thing is, especially with podcasting and business in general, a lot of us dip out because in the beginning stages, you're not getting external validation at all. Like, for a while at all, you have no idea if anything's going to work, especially when it comes to podcasting. That's why I don't even know the statistics, but they're so low for someone staying in the game over a year. I think it's literally like 1% of podcasts stay in the game over 1 year. So if you've done that, yay, cheers to us. Happy anniversary. So there was no proof yet. But year 2 is when I started to see all my numbers start to jump a little bit. I started to see people finding this podcast and it actually collapsing time in my coaching business as well, because people would come from my personal page on Instagram and then they'd come and they'd listen to a podcast and then they'd binge a few podcasts and it would collapse time in this know, like, and trust factor, and they would pay me being like, I already trust you, I love you. And that was like a 4-day span. And I'm like, oh, this is cool. And then the same thing started to happen where now people are searching the podcast. It's coming up on their feed. Like, friends are suggesting it and like it's starting to pay off. But for a year, I had to sit here being like, nothing's fucking working. I'm putting so much work into this. I don't understand this whole setup. I feel like an idiot. You can hear the box in half the fucking recordings that I did. None of it makes sense. There is no theme. There is no strategy. I'm just talking. Like, it's so cute. And then I'm starting to see it's working. And I'm like, ooh, I like this. I want more. And so I got more heartbeat into it. And I started to go, oh, how can I grow this community? So that I'm not just talking into the void, because that's how it kind of felt in the beginning of like, no one's listening to me. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Is this even working? I have no idea. Fuck all of this. No one would even notice if I didn't show up. Like, no one would care if I actually didn't post an episode. No one would know, but I would know. And I was like, but now people are gaining momentum, and like, I'm gaining momentum, and this is starting to gain a little bit of traction, and there's community. I have a community. At the time, it was Healing to Happy. I have a community of people, of my pre-housewifeies. This is so cool. How can I serve them more? And I started to study you guys even more and tailoring podcasts to you guys and starting to understand you guys more and more and more so I could grow this thing and not just talking, but I started to take it deeper and take it deeper in love. Right? We have a whole chapter, like year 2 was like all the love stuff, all the men stuff, because that's the season I was in. It's like, I'm looking for my husband. We're pre-housewife era. This is what we're doing. This is what I'm learning, how to attract love, how to trust men. Like, let's fucking go. I'm in. And it was so fun because I started to see traction. Now I got to see, oh, when you stick with something long enough, not seeking external validation and finding your internal strength as you are the best ROI, as long as you keep showing up, as long as you keep doing it with your full fucking heart, things will pay off. Oh, this is so cool. I fell in love with it. And then year 3. Year 3 was more so around the maturity and the legacy and soft and savage really coming to light. It's the maturity over the years. And I started to take this as a CEO. There's a strategy to my podcast now. It's not just me jumping on and doing it. There's a strategy to it. There's a funnel to it. There's a maturity that I'm locked into. There's a system to the people I bring on. There's things in place with this podcast that makes me so proud and makes me lots of money and helps change your life and helps change the ripple effect of it all. The thing that I know is so cool and why this is a legacy in the making is you change from one episode. And I get messages from you guys all the time that happens, and you change from one episode, and then that impacts people that you love because of how you show up, or that impacts how you get your clients, or how you address your clients, or your conviction with your clients, or how you show up with your partner, or your processing around certain conflicts in your life and certain things going on. And the ripple effect, it's not just for you. Now it's for the people around you, which then impacts everyone. It's a legacy. It's a ripple effect. And that has changed so much for me. Because it's not just about the pressure. It's not just about there's so much more depth to the work I do now. There's so much more things to what I'm pushing out. Hold on. Eddie has the music really loud, so I need to fix this. Quiet, please, as I'm saying this. You guys can probably hear me. Okay. Things of living with a new man. You're like, I'm recording a podcast. He's like, let me blast music downstairs right now. This seems like a really, really good idea. Okay. So there is a new level of womanhood. There's a new level of just maturity and legacy making and intentionality and understanding in my podcast now, in my business, in my brand, in my love life. Everything now has shifted, where it's trial and error experimentation to, okay, I need to put systems in place because this is starting to gain momentum and I need to figure this out so I can actually be a CEO, to now it was like a cute little passion project, to now it's like a side hustle. Now it's a full-time job. This is a business. This is a part of my business that is like a separate business of itself, but funnels into my other business. There's a different type of beauty to this. And I love it. And so these are what I see shift, whether it's in the coaching industry, whether it's in real estate, whether it's in brokerage, whether it's in your life in general. You try something year 1. You start to see it work year 2. And then you start to see it pay off year 3. But how many of you don't actually make it to year 3? Because we're so caught up in the external validation. We're so caught up in the wrong things. And so because it's not working, we change idea, we change a thing, we change it. We have the little scatterbrained ideas that most entrepreneurs do, which is why things don't actually make it to the finish line. Because you're not actually consistently showing up to one thing over and over and over again to give it the love, the dedication, and the soul that it needs to actually grow into something. There is something that one of my mentors said years ago when I first started this, before I actually started this podcast, and she talks about pineapple season is coming. And she talks about this. Pineapples take, 18 months, I believe, to grow. Don't quote me on that, but it's more than it does to take a baby. I know that. And so it can take 12 to 18 months. I have no idea how long it is, but it takes a long time to grow. Whereas most fruits, you put them out, they grow within a few weeks. Most plants, most things like that, you put them out there, they grow quickly. Imagine the first person that planted pineapples. Because at the end of the day, we have pineapples now all year round, right? That means people are out there, they're filling them, they're taking care of them. So how does that happen? And imagine the first person that put that seed into the ground and was like, nothing's happening. And they come back every single day and they're just watering it, but nothing's happening, nothing's happening. But then they move on to the next one, they're doing the same thing. And then they move on to the next one, they're doing the same thing. And they're moving on to the next thing and doing the same thing. But they're taking care of it every single day. They're watering it every single day for an insane amount of time. Say 12 to 18 months. I have no idea. I can't remember the exact number. Most people would have given up. Most people probably had given up already. But there was someone that sat there and was like, I'm dedicated to just watering this to see what the fuck happens. I'm going to fuck around and find out. And then one day, when everyone else has given up, a pineapple comes into fruition. Pineapple season comes all year round now because of the one person that stayed consistent. What have you given up on way too soon? What are you not paying attention to and watering diligently every single day and then saying, oh, it's not working? You're like digging it up, being like, oh, but I did it. And then you dig it up and you killed the root that was just trying to form because you gave up too soon. Whether it's in your business, whether it's a pattern in a cycle you're trying to break in your marriage or your relationship, whether it's a different health style, whether it's things with your family or friends. There's something, I know it, because there is always something. Humans give up on way too soon because you love external validation versus knowing you are the one, you are the chosen one, you are the only one that can make this work, but you have to give up your fucking timeline on when that is going to work. That is the difference between how I have built this and how I'm going to build all of these things and the people that I see that are legendary in my work and the ones that don't get as far ahead. They source their power from within. They just keep watering. And they keep showing up. And they don't let the numbers get them down. And they're showing up. And they know no matter what, if they keep working on the right things at the right time in the right order, not just on miscellaneous things, but the right fucking shit, it's inevitable that it's going to work out. If you give something your all, you cannot half-ass anything. Right? I had no numbers. Hardly any numbers. I won't say no numbers, but hardly any numbers. Maybe it was my family listening. For I don't even know how long. To them popping like popcorn because I showed up every single Monday. I recorded every single week, no matter what. No matter what. And it would eat me away. Even if I missed it, I'd be up early on a Monday to make sure it got out by Monday and it was done. Because it mattered to me. And it mattered to you guys. And before I was like, oh, no one would care if I missed. Who cares? I would care. Because my word is law. And if I made a commitment to myself that every single fucking Monday there's going to be a new podcast for my favorite humans on the fucking planet, I made a commitment. But if I were to break that commitment, I would know that I broke that commitment. And that's going to eat away at my confidence. You guys ask me all the time, how the fuck are you so confident? How do you speak with so much conviction? Because I am who I say I am. I keep my word. No matter what. It doesn't matter. On my back end, it matches exactly what I'm saying on my front end. It's what I put out into the world no matter what. If I say I'm doing something, even while pregnant, I'm fucking doing it. Because it'll drive me absolutely fucking insane if I don't. And I need more of you to have this level of conviction in your life. Take yourself more fucking seriously and watch how the world will take you seriously. This is how things change. And so I'm going to quickly walk you through the 3 lessons core lessons I have learned in 3 years. Ready? Number 1, your brand only grows as fast as your identity grows. And your love life only grows as fast as your identity grows. So many of us get so caught up on this. How? How do I do this? You set this goal. I love how convicted you are. I love just how big you can dream and how far out you can be out there and all the kind of things in between. But you're so caught up on this how versus if you look at this entire podcast, what has the theme been? Truthfully, it's around prep season. Who do you have to become in order to obtain X result? Whatever it is that you are looking to obtain, whatever it is that you are looking to achieve, who do you have to become? And then yes, there is a little bit of strategy. There's things that we have to put into place. There's stuff. But you have to start to focus on who do you have to become? Your identity. You have to get into rooms that scare the shit out of you. You have to do the things. I love this podcast. I love the thing, but on it, that's not enough. That is not how I got here. I did not get to where I am because I did things comfortably. I did not get to where I am because I listened to podcasts. I did that in the beginning before I ever even started businesses. I was obsessed with podcasts and learning about things and all the kind of things because that's where I was at. But to actually get the tangible results, I had to take extreme risk in order to completely shift the woman I knew myself to be. And I started to play in a completely different field and go, if the version of me that was making multiple 6 figures, 7 figures, how would she respond in this moment? How would she make decisions in this moment? What would she be doing? If the version of me, the married version of me, how would she be showing up in her dating life, in her life in general? How would she be structuring her business? The mother, how would she be structuring things? What types of healing is she going to be doing? It's always, who do I have to become? The reason I got to where I am today with this business, with my marriage, with baby coming, with all the kind of things that have happened is because this has constantly been the thing that's inside of my head is who do I have to become in order to obtain those things? Not what do I have to do? What is the checklist in order to achieve this? But who do I have to become? So who do you have to become? Who are you becoming? Who are you currently becoming? Who are you being? And is that in accordance for who you know yourself to be in the future? Is the way that you're presenting yourself, whether it's in your brand or in your everyday life or in your relationship, is that reflecting the woman you know you are becoming? Is that identity, that evolution, is that part of you being reflected? If not, that's the work you have to start at. Stop focusing so much on the how. Start focusing on the who. Number 2, impact requires intimacy, not just influence. So many of us say, I want to impact so many lives, right? How many of you have said that? But so many of you post and ghost. So many of you wonder why people aren't reaching out to you in your DMs. So many of you are just showcasing your life without actually creating relationships. So many of you watch but don't engage. You want to be seen, but you don't want to actually see. And so your job, the biggest lesson is business is relationships. Relationships are relationships. A thing that really, really helped my business, helped my brand, helped this podcast, it didn't come from virality. It didn't come from things popping off. That's fine. Numbers are cute. They're very helpful. But it came from the depth. It came from the private messages I have with you guys. It came from conversations in the DMs. It came from those types of feelings that we get. We voice note back and forth. We're riffing. We're having fun. It's beyond just, hey, I'm posting this podcast and I'm leaving it here. It's, no, I'm here. I'm engaging with you guys. We're having things. I have live events. I have different giveaways for just you guys, right? I'm creating an experience. I tell you guys to reach out to me. When you do reach out to me, we build a relationship and then we get to take it a little step further. Like it's intimacy. Instead of what I see a lot of people do is this, I'm going to share my knowledge and then I'm going to disappear. And I'm not going to reach out to anyone, and I'm not even going to watch their stuff, and I'm not going to engage on anyone's stuff. I'm just going to post my stuff because I don't like my phone. I don't want to be on my phone. And then you're wondering why you don't have results. This is the wounded energy of thinking the world revolves around you. And I had it for so long. That's why I can say it in that way. People are just going to reach out to me. My relationships are just going to revolve around me. Blah, 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 all these things. But you have to become intimate. You have to create an open pathway for people to connect with you, whether that's in love and dating or whether that is in your brand and your business. Are you actually open to intimacy? Truthfully. Because you don't need more people. You don't need more followers. You need more presence. You need more resonance. You need deeper relationships. The whole thing right now is like people making millions of dollars with like hardly any followers because it's possible, because they have a relationship. Same thing when it comes to relationships. Do you need really more dates? Do you need more good men in your town? Do you need this whole thing? Like all this kind of, do you need all this stuff from your husband? Like all the kind of things. Or do you need actual intimacy? Can you slow it down a bit? Can you have some conversations? Do you need to actually give a fuck about someone else other than yourself? It changes. This is why I keep saying men in marketing, but like something I've learned through this whole experience is the deeper I tried to go with you guys, the better of a leader I wanted to become, the deeper my actual relationships got. Because I started to look at things through a different lens. I started to experience things through a different lens. And so what you're doing in your business is going to translate into your relationships. What you're doing in your relationships are going to translate into your brand. They work together if you allow them to. And number 3 is consistency is not sexy, but it makes you rich, respected, and unforgettable. It's not easy. It's not fun being consistent, posting every day online, sending out the emails, running the programs, weekly podcast episodes, showing up all the time on every platform. But it works. And the more people see you, the more people like you. The more people see you, the more they trust you, the more they respect you. They see it. Just like when you see someone that's super fucking fit, you're like, you instantly just have admiration for them because you're like, that is hard fucking work. You had to show up very consistently in order to make that aesthetic show up. It's the same thing in this whole thing. Consistency is the sexiest thing. That's not so sexy. But it does work. And so no matter what stage you're at, it's really sitting here and going, okay, can you give yourself a little bit more momentum? A little bit more consistency? Can you make a commitment? Hey, every single Monday, this episode is going out. I don't give a shit if I am traveling. I don't give a shit. I have had things die and I've had to record in the front seat of my car off my phone, somehow translate it to be able to get it to you that day. It's insane. Episodes not loading, so much tech issues, like all the things. It's the conviction and the consistency. I'm convicted, and no matter what, this is going out at this time, at this date. Again, make your word law. Make consistency one of your personal identifiers. That's that you become a reliable human being online and in your life because you are consistent. You say what you mean and you follow that with action. You instantly become a trustable, likable, respectable, unforgettable, well-paid human being. What could you build if you stayed consistent with it for 3 years? Truthfully, if you didn't give up on that thing, where would you be now? What would have happened in your life? What would your relationship be like? What would your health be like? What would your home life be like? That's what, quote unquote, everyone at the top, they've just been consistent in all of it because they're obsessed, right? Even with when my baby gets here, I will be consistent. It's already planned out. It's already prepped. I've been prepping for the last few months of what's going to happen. Maternity leave, you guys won't even know. You guys won't even know I'm on maternity leave. But I will, because that's part of this half savage way, is preparing your life and still staying consistent. But y'all would be so much further along by now. Like if I could have told myself, like the version of me 3 years ago, it's like I couldn't have predicted this, but I could have because I was doing all the things because this was my goal. The baby, the house, the man, the business. Like it was just, it was all in the works. And so like, would she be surprised? Absolutely not. Like, am I surprised? Absolutely not. Of course this worked out. And now it's sitting and going, okay, so what's like the next goal? And I'm so excited to go on that journey with you guys through motherhood and the next iteration and scaling this company to 7 figures and beyond and blowing this podcast out of the water and having a really dope studio that is my baby's nursery in her guest bedroom. It's, having more fun with this, like seeing where we can go. I am going to be on so many cool podcasts coming up. Like some of the top people we're getting on this podcast. It's just, we're having fun. We're scaling. Like that's what's happening this year is we're scaling and we're expanding. That's what happens when you get step into motherhood, right? It's just your capacity to hold is so much bigger. And the bigger you go, the more risk there is. I don't know who needs to hear that right now, but it's so true. Like the more you go, and I think we all fear this, like, oh, there's just going to be more. There is. But you also can hold a lot more. And so that's where we're going next. It's like, okay, we gained it all. We did all the things, achieved all the goals. The next thing is to scale. The next thing is to expand. And I'm taking you guys with me. Like I am documenting everything. Like how motherhood is, how I'm able to step into 7 figures while being a mother, like being in this new marriage, this home, like living between different countries, still running this business, like all of these businesses, new businesses, like all the things that are coming. That's what we're going to be sharing over the next year and the next years to come. And I'm so freaking excited to bring you guys with because you guys have been my why. That makes me cry since this whole thing. Like I feel so much when I think of you guys and how beautiful it is because you really are the reason why. And your messages and how you show up every week. And I couldn't pray for a better community than you all. And I have no doubt the extraordinary things you're going to be doing in your new era of your soft savages and just the love life and the home life and the bank accounts and your health. It's just, it's going to be extraordinary. And I'm so excited. I'm just so thankful. Like I am so thankful for you humans for giving me this life, right? Like I couldn't have the life I have now without you guys. And I'm just going to keep trying to figure out ways to thank you because it's such a blessing. It's just a gift. And I just want to keep giving you guys more. And so with that being said, I love you so much. You're a blessing. Here's to many, many years of building this relationship with you moving forward. And like I said, there's going to be a really, really fun giveaway. So tag me in any of the episodes you're listening to, sharing it on your stories, pumping it out there, blasting it off, all the things. We're going to be giving a giveaway. And then anyone write your review rank us on Spotify and then write us a review on Apple. That gets you a whole bunch of points. That's going to get you 10 points. And then every time you share, that's going to get you 1 point. So we're going to be putting that all together. And then come the end of the month, you'll get a message from my team and you will get an extraordinary gift. And so I love you guys. Oh, also, If you're looking to jump in, we're doing 100K in 100 days. This is a 100-day broadcast channel, private broadcast channel. I am walking you exactly through what it takes to build 100K in 100 days. If that feels expansive, it should. It's going to be so fun. I'm going to give you the mindset, the systems, the strategies, all the things that it really does take to build a six-figure brand and beyond. You do not have to just be a coach. Everything is a brand nowadays. So I'm going to be showing you exactly how to build this out without sucking your life away, but really awakening the savage inside of you, because you know you have her. And that's what this whole broadcast is going to be. It's going to be a daily place for you to plug in with mini trainings, prompts, things of that nature for you to work towards. So every single day you have a roadmap for the next 100 days. There is no way you can't make a whole bunch of fun money. Like, it's just literally impossible. So we're going to have the time of your life. That's going to be in the show notes. And I think that is it. All right, my loves, I have to go prepare because my husband's family is coming in for an entire month. I gotta go clean the house. So I love you so much, and I will see you in the next episode.